Welcome to The Artist Matters. I'm Alex Rudy. Each episode features an artist sharing their creative journey, their origins, what inspires them, their process, and offering up a little inspiration, motivation, and advice to help you on your creative journey. Whether you're doing it for fun or looking to make a living, this show will help you on your journey and let the world know your art matters. Well, hello everyone. It is Alex with the Artist Matters podcast. Only the second episode this year, and the year's coming to an end. But like I said, I've been working on other things. If you listen to my mid-year recap back in June, I let you know of things that were happening, things that were going on, and things I was working on. The reason I can't do the podcast as much, and I needed to focus on those things. So it's time to just bring you this episode to wrap up 2021. Can you believe it's over? I can't believe it. Just this week, it's over. It's going to be all over, and then we're in 2022. Whoa. It went by pretty quick. And my motto for the year was 2021 was so much fun. And it was. There's been ups and downs, highlights, lowlights. And I addressed many of those things from January to mid-June on the previous episode. So I think it's only fitting that I continue from July on. I did get to go to the movies for the very first time since the very beginning of 2020. At the end of June, I got to see A Quiet Place Part 2. I enjoyed the first one a lot and had to see how the second one panned out. And it was a very good flick. Very well directed by John Krasinski, and good acting by his wife, Emily Blunt, and the rest of the cast. And some scary moments, of course, as you would expect, but it did move the story along. It was great to be back in a theater, seeing a movie on the big screen. Well, I did go to New York and spent some great time with family. I got to see my first Long Island Ducks game. It was fun to see that. And spend 4th of July with the family, extended family. Get to see my sister and niece and do an early birthday celebration for this guy. It was very nice to spend time with them and celebrate my birthday early. Haven't done that in many, many years. I don't think I've ever celebrated my birthday at all with my niece. So that was extra special. And she made me some cute birthday cards. And later in the week, I actually did an escape room. Never done one of those before. That was quite fun. And it was me, my stepdaughter, granddaughter, and wife, and extended family trying to figure it out together. And we did. Had a little help from the game master, but only just hints of what to do. And we finished it under an hour. It was lots of fun. I highly recommend doing an escape room. It's not as claustrophobic as you may think. It's just a fun way to work together, solve some problems, and have a good time. And if you remember one of my previous guests, Bob Perillo, who runs his paint party business, Tiny Little Brushstrokes. Well, we got to see him and his wife, Vanessa, good friends of ours, and got to do karaoke at their home. That's how we all met, was through karaoke. So it was fun to all be together singing karaoke for the first time in many, many years. And also special to have my granddaughter Lucia join us and sing some songs. Then it was back to Florida, and my dad came by and celebrated my birthday with us the day before my actual birthday. It was fun to have him around, my granddaughter. She hadn't seen him since 2016, so she didn't remember him that well. But it was awesome to have them together and share that moment with me. Then on my actual birthday, she and I hit a trampoline park. Fun to get that going. Body's a little less limber at 51 years old, but she jumped around like crazy. I tried to jump as best I could. I'm okay jumping like from one trampoline to another, but trying to jump from a high thing, and yeah, that didn't work out too well for me. But I survived the day. And we went back to the movie theaters to finally see an MCU movie, Black Widow, which was enjoyable. Nice to finally get to see that movie after over a year waiting for it. And, of course, granddaughter's here, so we got to go in the pool a lot. Went back to Busch Gardens finally. We haven't been there since last year. Rejoined as platinum members and took her. Now she was finally tall enough to go on all the coasters. So that was very exciting to get her on all these rides. She's just had to sit on the side and watch others go on. Now she got to enjoy them herself. And we were so happy that she could go on the rides with us. Fun times. Of course, I didn't forget the name of this podcast is The Artist Matters. So there has to be some art in here somewhere. Well, yes, there is. My granddaughter and I did do some painting. She came up with a very cool idea. We each got a canvas and started to paint it, but we set a timer for 10 minutes. Once that 10 minutes was up, we switched canvases. Reset the timer for 10 minutes. Once it was done, we switched sides again. And I think we did 10 more minutes and switched one last time. So that was her idea. I've never, ever heard of doing that before. And I highly recommend it. It was a good way to keep the creative juices going and doing something completely different. You know, I did my part, and I switched and said, oh, okay, this is her painting. Well, let's see what I can do with it. And then come back to my painting and see what she did. So amazing. It runs in the family. She's got that creative spark, and I'm so glad we're able to do it. And of course, the paintings are hanging up in the house. And I did do some reading, especially some stuff that relates to us as artists. I reread the book, The Artist's Way. Back in 1999, I took my acting class with my very first guest of the podcast, Lori Davis, and she recommended we check out this book. And I got it and started it, but never, ever finished it. That's right. It took me over 20 years to finish that book, and I did. I read it all the way through. I think I did most of the exercises. I don't know. But it was a very good creative journey. I also read The War of Art, which is kind of similar in a way, but different, shorter, and still worthy for us creatives to read. So I recommend those too. A friend of mine gave me the book Howard Stern Comes Again. She's a big fan of Howard, and we always talked about it at work. And just before she left, she gave me that as an early birthday present. And it's very good. I don't listen to a show, and I know some of his fans complain that it's just basically transcripts from the show. But the interviews are really deep, and Howard has a great knack of probing and getting answers, but doing it in a nice way and getting people to reveal sides of themselves that you normally don't hear. That's stuff I really admire, especially as an interviewer. I haven't interviewed people in a very long time, but it helped inspire me and see that this is like the level to reach when you're doing all these interviews. Obviously, he's interviewed so many famous people, and a lot of them have said it's their best interviews they've ever done with somebody. Gives me hope. I'd like to get to that level. I want to be that guy. I like to get deeper. And it's, seeing how his interview style is and just taking a little bit from that and seeing the way other people do it. It's especially someone like Howard, who's at the top of his game, see how he goes through his interviews. And he's very proud of the book, and he should be. It was a great read. I recommend it so much. All right, moving on. That's right, I've done some maximum tunage shows, which I'll post some links to in the show. Obviously, I did a birthday show. I always do. And Lucia and I did one. But she's DJ LB, and I'm DJ Alex. We did a show together back in 2018. So it's time to do a new one, and it came out really good. It was fun to do that with her. Just another creative collaboration with her. Love it. And also love her mom and future stepdad arriving in mid-August. Finally, we were all together. I got 2 weeks off, so I got to spend all that quality time with them. We did the Busch Gardens thing, Adventure Island. Went to Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason game. And just had a fun time going to our pool, enjoying each other's company. We also hit the water park Aquatica, which is right near SeaWorld in Orlando. Fun park. Very well laid out. It's a great water park. And then something happened to me. There are these water slides where you're on a little raft and you're going face first down the chute. So I was screaming as I went down and should have kept my mouth shut because at the very bottom, water gushed into my mouth. And I had a hard time breathing. I was coughing, and every time I tried to take a deep breath, I couldn't. It was a little scary. I didn't panic, but I got off the ride as quickly as I possibly could and sat down and just kind of breathed. The lifeguard on the ride made sure I was okay. My family was right near me. I just sat down and leaned over because I know trying to get the water out of my body as best as I could. And eventually I was okay. But it was a little scary. I'm like, oh my goodness, am I going to die here at a water park? May seem overly dramatic, but it's I could imagine this is what drowning must feel like. I mean, you got water in your breathing canal. You can't breathe. There's no way of taking a breath. I could see how people can do it. But it didn't ruin our days, so I was okay, and we continued and enjoyed the rest of the park. And knowing me, of course, I had to make light of it somehow because I love making my family laugh. So anything after that, like lunch, we had lunch, and then I commented, my first lunch as a drowning survivor, and got laughs from the family. Do it for them. Try to make light of my situation. And obviously anything after that was my first blank as a drowning survivor. So yeah, I'm grateful that I'm okay. And I got to keep going on and enjoy the rest of the vacation and my time with them. And it was a really good 2 weeks. See, so that's something I really look forward to, time with the people I care about. I'm sure a lot of you do too, especially this time of year. We just had Christmas and New Year's is coming. So I know what it's like. We didn't have family with us this time, but we have plans to meet up with them very soon. And I'm looking forward to that. I just want to mention, this is nothing creative, but I mentioned in the previous episode in my mid-year recap that my pool's motor went and we had it replaced. Well, listen very carefully. If you have a pool that's powered by an ionizer, which means it's running on copper to filter, the copper wears out over time, and it can wear out in a little over a year. So in lieu of you having to shock your pool and adding chemicals daily, that's what the ionizer does. But the copper will run out. And that's exactly what happened to us, like mid-September. We thought maybe, I don't know, the pool was getting cloudy and we just had to keep shocking. We even shocked it, which we normally don't do, but we had bleach. We were trying everything. And we just did not know what was going on, and found our repair guy, and sure enough,